Hello, Gemini. My name's Echo, and thank you for joining me for your July 2025 tarot reading. Let's go ahead and get started. I just want to let you know that we have a new moon in Cancer happening on June 25th. So see where Cancer is in your chart and what house that lies in to see how that new moon will impact you and where you can best set your intentions. Given that Cancer is all about taking care of the home, the family, and the heart space, is a very watery emotional energy. Pay attention to your emotions at this time and what's tugging at your heartstrings. You may find that that aligns with where this is happening in your chart. So let's go ahead and throw cards for you today, my dear Gemini, and see what July has in store for you. You start off with card number 37, the Harvest Moon, Fruition. So the individual in this card has all of the fruit, all of the abundance up on her head, and this can indicate that things are coming about, things are budding from her, but she is also a very bountiful individual. The Harvest Moon is all about collecting on that which we have put so much into, collecting the harvest. And if you'll notice, the moon in here is burning bright. It is a full moon. So it is actually talking about growth that is coming from things that you have put forward, my dear Gemini. And I feel like you have been putting a lot of effort, not only into your day-to-day, but into any side hustles or projects that mean the world to you. And there may be a little bit of frustration at this time because they're not really yielding that which you desire. But if you look at the number at the top of this card, 37, 3 plus 7 in numerology equals a 10. And 10 is all about finishing out a cycle, all right? And this is what fruition is, where all the effort you put in is now coming to show the rewards and give you that which you have been working toward. So I feel like in July, you are going to start seeing the fruits of your labor. Maybe not right away, but if so, that's awesome. I'm very happy for you. If not, stick with it, because by the end of July, you are going to start seeing the fruits of your labor come forward. And I feel like I'm hearing windfall. It's going to come very suddenly. It's going to hit you harder than you expected, but in a good way. So let's go ahead and continue this reading and see what you have coming, Gemini, for the month of July. Next, you have the card of Temperance. So Temperance does indicate a need for patience. Typically, this card will show up in other decks where an individual is sort of creating a balancing act with one toe on land and one in the water. And we're actually talking about staying where you feel safe and secure, but also moving into things that are more fluid, more enjoyable, things that connect to your heart space, because water and the Suit of Cups is all about, our emotions and that which truly speaks to us. In this particular deck, however, you have the individual with the very long hair, almost Rapunzel vibes, and she is moving along in those beautiful fields. In the meantime, she knows that she's going to have to go up into those mountains if she continues on her current path. So this does indicate there is a little bit of softness needing to be balanced with hardship, knowing that there are peaks and there are valleys in life. Okay, so we have to be patient. We have to be patient with the situation we're dealing with and getting the rewards that we're truly working towards, making things come to fruition. The individual in this card is for some reason, I typically see it as a youth or a woman, someone who is very soft-natured at their core. But Temperance says that you need to temper the hard times with the softness. When things are feeling rough, don't be afraid to stop, take stock, and dial back in ways that can make it more gentle for you so you can, kind of cope. And then you do need to come when things are too soft and too gentle and give it that little bit of oomph and that little bit of push, right? The power of the mountain. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop that card there. And now we'll continue with the tarot and see what we have going. But the rune in the back of this card, and I just saw it's hidden amongst the flowers, and I'll hold this up here so you can see this. The rune in the back there, let me put this on camera there. Okay. The rune in the back there is known as Dagas. It's the rune that reminds us that for every day there is a night, and for night there is a day. So we have to live in balance, okay? Life works in cycles, the hard and the soft. So you just do need to be patient with yourself and work in both modalities when you possibly can, Gemini. And given that you are a sign of duality, you are the twin, I feel like you're very skilled at that. So you're going to be tapping into that in the month of July. And this may mean that you've resolved to stay in a space that's less than comfortable and do something you don't 100% enjoy because you see the value in it and how it can help you. But this doesn't mean you've lost your passion for that which truly does call to you. Okay, so you're kind of already dipping a toe in the water and having one on the land. But let's go ahead and throw some cards with the tarot for a Celtic cross and see what my Gemini has for the month of July. What do you have for my Gemini spirit? Let's go ahead and throw. You start off with the card of the Ace of Pentacles. So you are considering your own worth and those that value you, who you truly are and what you truly do. This may be for a living, so it may be in the workspace. It may be you're looking to update things in your home space with that new moon in Cancer. We were talking about it being a very homebody sign. But you're wanting things to work in a way that feels genuine and comfortable to you, something that feels like it's really giving back. Because I feel like you're the individual who does put everything, your whole self into something, Gemini. You don't really, and I'm just going to say you don't half-ass anything. So you're going to start expecting these rewards to come full circle and stay positive like that. Expect things to come to fruition because this is where you're at. This is what you're seeking right now. And this could be monetary value. It could be people in situations putting as much back into you as you are into them, because pentacles are about that which we can touch, that which we can see, our everyday experience. So next we're going to go forward to see what you have for your crossing energy, my dear Gemini. What does Gemini have crossing? And this is the situation that's either conflicting you or heavily on your mind. Let me go ahead and get that card. I don't usually take flippers, but I'm getting a lot of them recently, and I feel like this is spirit kind of speeding me up in the readings, right? Crossing you is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is the master of the ships at harbor, and these two wands behind him show everybody his status. Here I am. These are the actions I'm doing. I am commanding the ships on where to go in the harbor, okay? And he has the one wand in his hand to show all the ships down there, you know, where to go, to sort of edge them along. Wands are all about that which we seek to create, our heart's passion. They are fire, they are action. So you are looking to take action on that which truly does resonate with you in your heart space at this time. And I feel like it's not a hard focus for you, but it's more a daydream that intrudes as a, excuse me, I'm still dropping things, that intrudes as an intrusive thought when you're going through your day-to-day. And the work seems a little bit mundane, almost like the happy distraction, I guess you could say. I'm hearing happy distraction. But let's continue the reading and see what we have coming, because it looks like you are willing to take action on something. Oh, there's the flipper. You are taking action on something and you are working towards your passion. This is your goal at this time. So there's some sort of movement you have in mind that you're seriously considering at this time. Next, you have the Eight of Swords in reverse. At your base level, when you're sitting with yourself and you're really contemplating things, you're looking to free yourself up. Swords are about air, communication, and our thought processes and the intellect. So you are trying to get clear on a situation, and so you can take action, almost like you're looking to make a plan. But this does mean you're going to have to free yourself up from any modes of thinking, any outdated thoughts or beliefs that are holding you back, or any communication that you feel you're not coming through clearly. Is there somebody in your work situation or in your home space, your day-to-day, like we're talking about here, that you're not really getting through to for one reason or another? Either they're always too busy, they're not listening, or they're kind of putting you on the back burner, and you really feel like you're not being heard as well as you should be. Your insights are either going ignored or being taken with a grain of salt and then just kind of, there it is. Okay, sorry about that, Gemini. I'm not sure what happened to my camera there, but without further ado, let's go ahead and continue this reading. So it looks like you're looking for things to come to fruition and you're having to temper it with patience. The Ace of Pentacles says that you are genuinely in a space where you want people to see your worth and appreciate your worth the way you do for all the effort you put in. And you're looking to take action on this at this time, either to help people see your genuine effort for who you really are and kind of taking that bold step forward, or actioning a way to create an environment where whatever passion, whatever truly matters to you can be put out there so people can see you for who you are, right? Because sometimes it's not, I don't want to put this, it's not what we're wearing that people see, it's how we're carrying ourselves, right? So you want to get yourself out there in a way where people will genuinely see you for who you are and not just like the label of whatever it is you're wearing. But you are seeing that there is a need to free yourself of any limiting thoughts or beliefs and communicate more openly in order to create this momentum you're looking for in this movement. So let's go ahead with this reading and continue to see what is helping you along on this path. How is my Gemini going to find this progress in the month of July? Oh, another flip out. All right. and you have the Magician. Now, the Magician has all the tools on the table at his disposal. He has his wand for the fire, the action, the passionate energy, the swords for air, communication, and intellect, the cup for heart space, water energy, and then he is actually moving forward with his pentacle. I don't know if you can see that down there. His pentacle, which is all about bringing it all to fruition and making it happen for him in real time. The symbol above his head is the infinity symbol, talking about this is an ever-flowing motion. This is a constant grind. We were talking about the balance of Dagas, and isn't it funny that the rune of Dagas has the two sides, almost like a butterfly. Let me try to bring this in where you can see this. And it's very much like the infinity symbol. It is also two-sided like the butterfly. So you are the magician who is able to create as above, so below. That what you think is that what you create. So it's important to make sure that your thoughts are remaining positive at this time. And while you are moving forward with patience, you're doing so in a way that says you're patient with yourself as well. Okay, because when we are eager to do something, my dear Gemini, we do sometimes want it now. And we just have to recognize that life moves in cycles. And sometimes those cycles take their sweet time in order to allow us the time to step into a transition more gently instead of a very jarring change. Because if you've ever been through a situation that's very, okay, we'll say something like heartbreak. And I'll take this from a personal example. I'm previously divorced. And while it was a very jarring change, I feel like it was kind of working its way up because, you know, I saw all the chapters. I lived through that marriage. And I kind of saw that it was coming on the horizon, but it didn't make it any less painful and any less jarring. And to this day, the lessons that came from it have made me that much stronger, that much wiser. Now, would I have liked for it to be a smooth, easy transition? Absolutely, because that was a freaking nightmare. But if you can go forward and take those lessons to heart and move forward gently, you'll have less of the ex-divorcee kind of bitterness that some of us tend to take on, which for a while was me. And I will admit, at my darkest, I do kind of revert back to that every now and then and just like think, oh, wow, here we are again. You know, this is, people suck, you know, this is where I get. But, you know, that aside, you can transition things very gently if you like, and you just need to be patient with yourself and realize that, yes, you can make change, but sometimes it may be just a little change, a little action every day, okay? The magician is doing very powerful things, but you may not realize them at that moment. They're just little tiny changes that have that ripple effect later on. So take this transition very gently to go towards to that which you truly desire, and do so with patience, knowing that, yes, any change you make still counts. Crowning you, you have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is all about material gains, that which he has. He's a very bountiful king. He's almost like the individual sitting atop his throne with his pentacle for all to see. Anyone who approaches him can see his riches. And these grapes in the background are talking about a fruitful harvest. Here we are with fruition. But he has everything that he desires because he has put all the work in, and he is sitting atop his throne very secure, very safe, and very wealthy. Anyone who comes to him will see that pentacle on his lap, and there are people who may come asking. So crowning you, you realize that you know your worth, you can have that which you desire, and you are absolutely, genuinely looking to achieve it. But it's not coming from a greedy heart space. It's a very regal, refined, very powerful energy. Somebody who is absolutely on top of their game. And because I feel like you have a giver kind of energy, okay? So if somebody did come to you and saw you with everything that you wanted, this passion project being your go-to, you know, not having to kind of get out there and schlub for everybody else. If they saw you and they love that energy and they wanted to draw from it and learn from you, I feel like you would be willing to share. So don't be surprised when you get where you're going and seeing the fruits of your labor come to fruition in July. If people come asking to be a part of that, come asking to almost sit alongside you as you sit on your throne, okay? Because if you notice, and I just saw this, I've looked at this card 1,000 times. This king, yes, he has his regal robes that he is wearing, but he is wearing armor. Look at his shoulders. Look at his neck. He is wearing armor, so he worked hard. He fought. He earned that, but he is battle-tempered, okay? And I'm seeing the word tempered because tempered is sitting right there. It just jumped out at me. But he is battle-tempered, and he has seen some stuff. So if somebody is looking to learn from you at this time, I feel like you're going to take them under wing and you're going to help them gain that which they desire, but not at your own expense, because he's also a very wise king. He didn't get that way by being stupid, okay? So let's go ahead and see what the immediate outcome is for this reading. What is the immediate energy from all this that we are taking in stock here, my dear Gemini? You have the Nine of Wands in reverse. The Nine of Wands is wounded warrior energy, someone who has run the gauntlet, been through this stuff, and is now backed into a corner. The individual on this card sits at the edge of a cliff, knowing that the wands at her back are indicating all the action she took to get there thus far, but she still has one wand in her hand, and she is making her final stand. In the tarot, 8, 9, 10 is working towards a finish, and this is a card of 9. So she's almost finished with whatever action it is she has to take to finish out with that 10 on that cycle. So as you stand your ground, I feel like you're realizing the immediate outcome of all of this is going to be realizing where you need to give ground. You're very aware of what you've been giving so far, just like this king is aware of the battles and the tactics it took to be atop the throne with all that he has. Actually, in instances of you having that which he truly desires and going after what it is he truly wants his life to be on the day-to-day. So you are now having to recognize what you went through, but also the actions that were hindering you. Where can you give ground? What actions are actually taking from you? And taking stock of both of them so that when you have what you're looking for, you're immediately, okay, how can I be sure I don't backslide? So as you progress through July, you are going to sort of taking stock where you are. And I'm seeing, like in the Temperance card, you know, the foot on the land, foot in the water, or the hardiness of the mountains and the softness of the flowers. You're seeing where you need to be hard and where you need to be soft, where you need to put a little bit more of your wisdom, your knowledge, your power, and your fight, and where you can afford to dial back to sort of take people under wing. So you may attract people who are looking to take from you to genuinely learn and be a part of what you're doing, but you may also run into people who are looking to take from you in a way that is less than genuine. Maybe steal your ideas or copycat you. Okay, so be sure to copyright anything you're putting out there, any intellectual property that you are afraid someone may go after, because there's a good chance that if you're running into those people, they're going to try to profit, and you want to be sure that you're protected. Okay, whether you're a business or an independent artist or whatever it is, protect yourself and your investment, just like this King of Pentacles would do, right? So let's see what energy you in particular are bringing to this Celtic cross spread, my dear Gemini. What energy do you bring today? You have the Seven of Swords in reverse. So you're definitely looking out for people who might be less than honest and might be sneaky, okay? Because this is a liar, cheater, stealer energy, and this may mean changing battle tactic, okay? So the individual in this card is taking swords away from the battle encampment in the background, which to me kind of looks like a circus, the way those tents are built, but you know, it is what it is. And he's doing this, so there's that many swords. He's taking swords away. There are that many individuals that can't come after him, but there are 2 swords still in the background. So just be wary that if you go forward with less than genuine intent and you're not putting yourself out there in a way that is straightforward and true, it will come back to bite you, okay? Because if you've seen enough movies, you know that it only takes one swordsman who's very skilled to pick up a sword and come after him, and he's done once they catch up. But I really feel like this is just you changing your tactic. This is you doing exactly that, addressing your day-to-day in a way to make it work for you that feels more genuine, all right? And if there is somebody who has a sneaky intent, like we're talking about stealing your work or stealing credit for your work, etc., I feel like you're going to catch them because you're more wary, because you're a very trusting sign, Gemini. And I don't want to say like gullible, okay? But you should always try to see the best in people and in a situation and how the two of you can connect, because you're very social. But if you see something sneaky, I feel like you're going to be more alert and aware of that at this time, just inadvertently, okay? Your intuition is very strong and you're going to be picking up on things, sometimes whether you're putting the effort in or not. You're going to see it, okay? What is Spirit bringing to this reading for the Celtic Cross? What do you have for us today? You have the Five of Wands. Wands are, again, all about action, but the Five of Wands in particular is about conflict. And I don't feel like this is conflict that Spirit says is coming your way in a bad way. It's more like training. It's saying, yes, you're learning the lessons, you've been through the stuff, but there are still more lessons for you to learn. There are still more actions you can take. It's almost like cheering you on, okay? You've been through the stuff, like we talked about, this King of Pentacles, and you have moved with patience. Now, how can you apply those lessons moving forward? It's like a reminder. You did a great job on these tests. Now, how can you apply them? Okay, so just be sure that you're continuing to take actions in the month of July to not only establish that which you desire, but continue to grow from there. You've been through the lessons, you've been through the training, and now you know the stuff to carry forward. How are you going to use it? All right. So it's almost like Spirit's in your corner and kind of backing you up. Yeah, I'm really feeling like you're going to be able to move through these peaks and valleys we talked about with that Temperance card in a way that is profitable to you. In your positions of hopes and fears, the next card you have for pop out is the Strength card. Again, there's that infinity symbol that came up here in the Magician and mirrors the Dagaz rune in Temperance. This is infinity, the ebb and flow, okay? So there will be a time for the softness and the gentleness of the lady, which I feel you already have down. Like I said, you're a social sign. But there will be a time for the strength and the roar of the lion, who in this card is actually sleeping very peacefully. But should someone approach that lady with any imminent threat, I feel like that lion's going to wake up and it's probably going to eat whoever comes to do any harm. So you're in position of hopes and fears. This means that you're hoping you're going to be able to maintain that balance in a way that genuinely serves you because you've been through the lessons and you recognize you've been through this stuff. I feel like you've been mulling through your head very recently. If not, you will be in early July about what you've been through and how you can make it serve you. But fearfully, you're wondering, are you going to forget those lessons when the time is right? Or conversely, is someone going to challenge them and tell you, oh, you're doing stuff wrong? Are they going to be the person who wakes up and is the lion and takes advantage of you? But honestly, I really don't feel like that's where you're going in the month of July. I feel like you're going to be able to take these lessons that you've learned and this stuff that you know, and you're going to be able to apply it in a way that works for you because you're going forward with wisdom. You're an air sign. You're very smart, Gemini. You're a very intellectual sign who knows how to navigate not just the thought process of what's going on in your head, but the people around you. It's almost like you can pick words out of thin air, and I'm hearing finish someone's sentences. So you may flow in conversation with somebody at this time that it's almost like you finish each other's sentences. It's almost like you guys finish each other's. I knew where you were going with that, and things come full circle in a conversation. So let's go ahead and finish out this reading. Oh, that flopped out, so I'm going to take it. What is the long-term energy of this reading for you? And you have the King of Swords. He is a very wise king, okay? And it looks almost like he could be related to the King of Pentacles, but we'll leave that. He is the individual who sits at the edge of the forest, removed from his castle, from society, sitting out there, communing with nature while he sits on his throne, right? I mean, he even has the falcon on his hand, meaning that he is in charge of the air sign, the very wise energy, the ability to communicate his thoughts openly to individuals. Because if you look, falconers back in the day, they were people who used to use falcons to hunt. They would go out and they would survey the land, and they would know where life actually was, steering clear of things like rocks and empty valleys where there were no animals, there was no vegetation, nothing. They even use birds as carriers of messages, you know? So if you are a falconer who has some sort of wisdom about you, I feel like you're going forward with almost like a bird of prey energy. You're using your intellect in a way that will almost outsmart the people who think themselves clever, but genuinely give to the people who are coming to you seeking wisdom, okay? So this is a wonderful reading for you, Gemini. It feels like you're stepping into a very intuitive, very powerful time with this reading. It seems to me like July in general is going to give you that progress that you're looking for. You just have to be patient with yourself and be patient with things. And I'm hearing trust the process. So my name is Echo. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm wishing you a very happy July, and I will see you next time.